Hi, my name is Casey Lovell, and I am the founder and co-owner of On Purpose Softball Training, and I wanted to make a short video for players, parents, and coaches about our recruiting workbook and how that can be beneficial for players, parents, and coaches. It kind of goes the spectrum, but especially for players, for these athletes, to help them work through the recruiting process. The recruiting process can be a little scary and everywhere and confusing, and so this short workbook, I'm going to walk through it really quickly, but I'm going to tell you really the top 3 reasons why we created this workbook and how we think it can help athletes, players, parents. So the biggest reason is we want athletes to be informed about what they actually want. So the recruiting workbook helps them work through what they want from a school, and more than just through sports, but very holistically in every single area. What are they looking for educationally? What are they looking for culturally? So the recruiting workbook can help athletes really be informed about what they want out of a school and why they want to go play for a certain school. And so the second reason is that the recruiting workbook is a very cheap investment and it can save time and money. And I know parents like to hear that one. It can save you time and money because if you have an informed athlete that really knows, hey, this is what I want out of a school. Now that can be changing, it can mold as they go on, but they know pretty well, hey, these are the things I'm looking for. These are my criteria. Then as parents, you can know, how do we want to better invest our time and money? So going to schools that might actually be a good fit for camps, for visits, instead of trying to figure it out by going to 50 different camps, 50 different campus visits, a bunch of different showcases. You can kind of narrow down that scope a little bit. And again, when you know what you're looking for, you can better allocate where your time and money goes. And then the last thing really pertains to coaches and to just travel organizations or teams as a whole. And so with this recruiting workbook, it can, one, give your organization a good reputation because your athletes are informed. They know what they want. They're able to talk to coaches and say, hey, I like this and this about your school. Here's how I think I would be a good fit for your specific program. And again, coaches love to hear that. And for you as coaches, if you're having these players on a team and you're the one that's going and talking to the coaches, kind of being a part of that recruiting process, talking to them about the player, if the player hands you this and says, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I like about this school, this school, this school, it makes it easier because you can actually go to these coaches and authentically tell them, this is why I think this player would be a good fit, this is what she has to offer, this is what she likes about your school. And so it can really help you as a coach, as a team, as an organization, set yourself up to place players in these schools, in these colleges where they're actually fitting and is the best fit for them. And so I just wanted to show you a few things within the recruiting workbook. So one of the biggest parts of this recruiting workbook is called the criteria list. And so what a criteria list is, and I can show you this page here, it says college criteria list. So what this criteria list is that athletes actually make a list of the things that they want out of a school. And again, it talks in here, it walks them through different areas. So educationally, even things like how far away from home is it? Or what's the culture like? How big is the campus? How competitive is the sports program? It walks athletes through those things and helps them to start thinking about, hey, what do I want out of a school? And if athletes haven't even started to look at schools, this will give them the criteria that they can take and then research what schools actually fit my criteria. And if they have schools that they've already been looking at, they can take this criteria and apply it to those schools and say, hey, do these schools actually fit what I figured out that I want? And so again, then they place this criteria, they have standards with the criteria, they even can label how flexible their criteria is. So if you say, hey, I want to go somewhere that is within 5 hours from home, is that kind of flexible? If it was 6, 7 hours, are you flexible with that? Or is it, no, no more than 5 hours. So it even walks you through to that extent. And then you actually get to write down, there's charts, there's tables where you can list out your schools, and then you can list out. So for example, you put a school in the list here on all the way on this side, you put a school down, and then you go across here, and one of the example criteria is for affordability. So for this school, if it's a state school, obviously you can write down, this is how much it's going to cost for tuition, boarding, housing, all of that. If it's a private school, this is how much it's going to cost. So again, your athletes are going to be informed. It'll help you as a parent to be informed as well, and as coaches to know what your athletes want. So the criteria list is just, again, one part of it. And then the other really cool part of this is there is actually a scorecard with it. So once you have your criteria set, you take that criteria and you put it into a scorecard. And you'll also get an electronic version of this scorecard too if you want to work with it in Excel, so you can change it a little bit better. It'll calculate for you. But pretty much the scorecard is also just another table here. And again, this is a sample one, but it is another table where athletes can actually put in all of their criteria. They score each of their criteria categories with a percentage, and it gives you a weight. And then for each school, you have a total, and it'll show you the highest total is going to be the school that fits your criteria the best, which is just crazy that you can put that information in and you can be that informed about, hey, which school fits my criteria best? Or maybe I really like this school, but it's lacking in that one area. Am I okay with that? And so again, the recruiting workbook, it's a small workbook, okay? But it's easy for athletes to work through. There's tables in here. There's detailed instructions of how they can work through it. There's extra worksheets. And like I said, you can also choose to get an electronic version of some of these worksheets to work through them on the computer if you like. And especially since with everything going on with COVID-19, and we know you already spend a lot of money on your sport, this recruiting workbook is only $20, which is great. We want to make it affordable, but we also want to provide so much value. So for $20, you're getting so much value, and you're setting up your athlete to succeed and be much more informed and to set themselves up from the start to have a better college experience than they might have had otherwise. And parents, it's helping you to be informed and helping you to know, what does my athlete actually want? You can help them work through that process. And same with coaches and organizations. You can help your players actually be placed at schools that fit them better, that they're passionate about in more than just their sport, in education and culture and all of these things. And so just wanted to take a second to just show you the recruiting workbook, actually walk through you with it. And you can email me and you can ask me questions. You can just respond to this email and I would be happy to answer them for you and talk about how we can get this integrated with your organization, even do learning webinars that work the athletes through this. We offer that too. So again, if you're interested in this and investing in your athletes this way, reach out and we would be happy to help you and happy to see your athletes succeed, your organizations, your team, and to provide you with great value.